Hi there, welcome to my course. In this lecture you will learn about Exploit Frameworks Part 2 Attacking Networks. Being able to extract information from the client represents a small portion of what attackers can do. In many situations, client enumeration is just the beginning of a well-planned attack, which expands across several areas that are discussed. XSS attacks are not only about client security, because browsers are bridges between the hostile internet and the local network. Attackers can abuse various browser features to locate and attack internal devices. Let us see how we can attack an internal network with the help of Attack API. Like every other well-planned network attack, we are going to perform a port scan. This is the example. This figure shows the port scan result as seen from our browser. You can see that the browser correctly identified ports 80 and 443 as open and port 81 as closed. Port scanning from a browser is not an exact science. Therefore, you may receive a lot of false positives. To eliminate them, you need to fine-tune the scanning process via the timeout parameters, like the following. This is the parameter. Now, knowing how to port scan, you can try identifying open ports on your corporate printer by using something similar to the following. This is the figure. The timeout parameter defines how long the port scanner needs to wait for the currently tested port before it flags it as closed. If the victim is going through a proxy in order to access internal web resources, the scan process may fail. However, this kind of setup is very rare. If you don't provide ports for the scan ports function, Attack API will use the port list. Attack API is also capable of port scanning a network range. This technique is known as port sweeping and can be accessed via the Attack API sweep ports function. The following code demonstrates the sweep ports function's capabilities. This is the code. If everything works fine, you will get a result similar to what is shown in the figure. Attack API supports both the start IP, stop IP and the IP or mask notations. In the respect, you can use the following code to scan the class C range of 10.10.56.0. This is the code. To perform the network and IP manipulation yourself, you can use several variable Attack API utilities. Although identifying open ports and live systems is important, we can do more than just a simple port scan. For example, it is possible to launch attacks against internal routers with nothing but a single function call. There are a number of devices with the sole purpose of giving you the best directions on how to move on the internet. The first device is known as the default gateway. If you are a wireless user, this is your wireless router. When configuring and securing the router, it is possible to set it up so that the administrative interface is also available on the internet facing side. First of all, we call the request CSRF function. This is one of the many request functions available in Attack API that allow you to retrieve or call remote resources. Unlike request XML, which works on resources in the same origin, request CSRF works everywhere, but it is totally blind to the caller. This means that we cannot get the response back. The request CSRF function is called with several parameters.